Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, I want to talk about what's going on with the price of ammunition as of January 2022. Actually, we're just like a couple of days away from February 2022. So, what's going on? I looked at the price, 1,000 rounds of 9 millimeter, which is the ammunition that I shoot the most of. Okay, I might go through. You know, sometimes I might go through 1,000 rounds in a week. Sometimes I might do more. Um, I shoot it in both my 9 millimeter ARs and also my 9 millimeter pistol, so it gets used in two different types of guns. And the great thing about 9 millimeters, I can shoot it at these steel targets, right? I can put in a 9 millimeter AR, shoot it at those steel targets without destroying the targets. I mean, if I shoot it with 223, it doesn't go through it, doesn't immediately destroys it. It puts little pop marks on it, but over a long period of time, it consumes the target. So that's why, whenever possible, I like training with 9 millimeter. So the price of a 9 millimeter, I looked at 1,000 rounds of Tula steel case, right? That's mostly what I use, like 99% of what I shoot. 1,000 rounds was about $300. Okay. Um, I saw a couple of vendors. Basically, I went to AmmoSeek. Okay, if you guys aren't familiar with that, it's basically a website that searches different sellers to find you the best price. I have seen it as low as like 285, but I'm not familiar with those vendors. The ones that I've bought from before are about $300 for 1,000 rounds, and then if you scroll a little further down, you'll see it, even higher, like 320. Now, with the shipping and all that, it's gonna cost you about $350. By comparison, I think I was paying, let's say, 3 years ago. Second year into Trump's presidency, I think I was paying about $200. Okay, so it's still higher than it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago at this point. But it's nowhere where it was like in 2020, right? In 2020, I think the highest I had paid, I think I was averaging about $600 for 1,000 rounds of Tula, and at one point I think I was paying $700 for 1,000 rounds of Tula, but it didn't stay there for long. For the most part, I was usually paying about $600. Sometimes I would get it for $500. But it has come down, but it hasn't come down to the levels that it was 3 years ago. Now, the obvious reason is that inflation, right? Everything, basically, they've printed up all this money, and because they've printed up all this money, the money is just worth less. Okay, so that's the reason why it's up there. Now, I have there was a couple of interviews that I saw done at Shot Show, right? And the manufacturers were basically saying, oh, they're running their factories 24/7. They're trying to keep up. I don't believe any of that. Okay, I do not believe any of that. Basically, they're saying the easiest thing for them to say. They're probably saying what they're used to. The thing that they've been saying for the last 3 years is the thing that's probably sitting on the tip of their tongues, and they're just, naturally saying it because they really haven't had time to process what's really going on. But I do not believe that the factories are going 24/7 to produce ammunition. Um, First of all, the gun sales are not what they were 3 years ago. For the most part, everybody's bought guns by now. Okay, all those back in 2020, you had lots of first-time gun buyers. Most of the people bought guns at this point. Okay, now there's still some new gun buyers that are still coming to the party now, but it's not anywhere near the rate that it was, back in 2020. Likewise, those new gun buyers back in 2020, they were buying up all the guns. They were also buying up all, lots of ammunition. Okay, um, so you figure in 2020 they bought some ammunition. Then in 2021, as the prices came down, they started building up a stockpile, got up to a certain level. Certainly by now, by 2022, most people have all the ammo that they're planning to have in reserve. Okay, and all they're doing is when they go to the gun range to shoot, they're replenishing the ammo that they're shooting. Okay, so So they're just doing a replenishment at this point. They're not doing any stockpiling. They're not increasing their inventories that they're holding. Okay. And here's the thing: I travel around to lots of different gun ranges. I mean, the gun ranges like now, and especially now in the wintertime, they're pretty slow. So it's not like there's lots of people out there buying ammunition, shooting it, then trying to replace it. Especially in this part of the country, right? There's a lot less shooting going on this time of year. Okay, so the number of people buying new guns has slowed down just because everybody's got guns at this point. The number of people stockpiling has also gone down just because everybody has a stockpile. So the concept that the idea that the factories are running 24/7, I do not believe that. I don't see that happening. I don't see the gun sales. I mean, the gun sales are there, but it's not like what it was, back in 2020. The ranges aren't as busy, the busiest they've ever been. So what's going on? Aside from the inflation factor, right? That basically, yeah, because the money is worth garbage because of all the money printing, right? There's also another factor, again related to inflation. Because here's the thing: outside of guns, right? I've invested in a couple of other businesses that also stock inventories, right? And my general attitude with the inventories are like, hey, listen, when we sell this inventory, we gotta buy it, we gotta replenish this inventory, and I expect that the prices that we're gonna be replenishing it at are gonna probably be more than we had originally purchased it for. So likewise, if we sit on this inventory, right, and not sell it this month, if we sell it 2 months from now or 6 months from now, if inflation keeps at this rate, we're going to be able to sell it at a higher price in the future. So from a business perspective, okay, on any inventory, if it's not related to guns and ammunition, but on any inventory that I'm looking at, my background's an accountant, by the way. For those of you not familiar, I am a full-time gun instructor, but before I started doing this full-time, in my previous life, okay, for about 15 years, I worked as an accountant. I spent the last couple of years working as a chief financial officer. So I know business. I know numbers. I know how to look at a business with the sole purpose of what is going to be the most profitable, okay, for the company, right? From that I can look at, I have the ability to shut everything out and just look at that one thing, what is going to be the most profitable, and that's it. And right now, as I'm looking at the situation, what is going to be the most profitable is to maintain the prices as high as possible for as long as possible, so that we can maintain our current inventory levels, right? And have the potential to sell it in the future at a higher price, and avoid the risk of having to try and replenish the current inventory also at a potentially higher price. Okay, so there's no incentive to try and sell off the inventory as fast as possible. The safest position for me to be in is to charge as much as possible, because remember, I'm making a bigger profit, right? I'm making a bigger profit. So rather than try and make more money through a higher volume, all right, I'm trying to make more money with a higher gross margin, okay? I'm making a bigger profit from each sale rather than trying to make more sales at a smaller profit. So that's what's going on with the with the gun industry, with the ammunition. And it's not just the gun industry and the ammunition. That's also what's going on with the cars, the trucks, the tractors, the food, the toilet paper, everything else that you can think of. That's why the shelves are empty in a lot of the stores, because there's no incentive to try and push out the inventory as fast as possible, when I know that, hey, when I go to replenish that inventory, I might end up paying a higher price. I'd rather hold on to it and try to sell it for the, wait a little bit longer, sit on it a little bit longer, and try to sell it for a slightly higher price. So that's where we are with the ammunition prices right now. I hope this video was interesting to you guys. If you disagree, if you have a different, if you're in a position to see things differently, because sometimes, hey, you might be in a manufacturing plant, or you might be working a gun store, but I don't go to manufacturing plants, but I do frequent gun stores. and I ask how gun sales going. I mean, they're selling guns, but they're not selling them like, you know, like they were doing 2 years ago. So that's how I'm seeing it. If you guys see it differently, drop in the comment section. I'd love to hear and read different perspectives of what people out there are seeing. If you're not a member of the channel, subscribe and hit the bell button so you get notification of the new videos I put out. Thanks for watching.